Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hosting us, Danny. And for those of you joining us every week, we appreciate and respect the support and the love. We will definitely, putting always shout out for people. If you want to help us spread this wisdom, if you want to help us, share the wisdom, either like it or either whatever you do online, share it or call it whatever you want to call it, but please make sure it's not stuck with you. You learn something, share it, you gain more. Okay, that's how it goes. That's how I get more, right? I share, I get more. If I only share the one thing, I only get one thing in return, right? So when I share a lot, I always get many more secrets to share with everybody. So therefore, I'm encouraging you to practice that idea that whatever you share, whatever you learn, take one point. Even we have also the support of beautiful people who are writing down for you many notes. Take it, share it, or it's on Instagram or whatever your media is, or even with a friend. Just, hey, I want you to sit together and watch that together. Whatever it is, make sure it doesn't stop with you or get stuck with you. And it's maintained and continuing from you and on. As they say in America, pay it forward. Always good to pay it forward. So, like the reason I'm sharing with you, because the weekly energy of today is really represented by the father, the seed, the master of sharing. Of the one person who opened the idea of sharing to the world. Yeah, up until him, I'm talking specifically about Abraham, the father of all religion, the main character from him, the main roots from him, all nations stems out, right? Because we know before him, up until Noah, right? Noah, and then 10 generations from Noah, it's Abraham. But most of that generation is gone or were too many wicked people. Up until, and again, most of them until then was, including Abraham, idol worshiper. Believe in different gods, believe in different methods, believe in many things, that there is a good God and bad God. And some of us are still there, thinking there's, a bad God or angry God and all of that. That was before Abraham. And Abraham is the first, again, last week, this week mostly, is when he established a new reality, which is sharing-based reality, which is giving-based reality. Not taking and then I share. Giving-based reality. That should be the beginning of our process. Most of us born into a family that teaching us, hey, be kind to others, share, help your family, very nice morals and ethics. What Abraham is sharing and what Abraham is establishing, Abraham established in the world and obviously in the spiritual world, he downloaded what we call the energy of, again, I'm mentioning the word of that type of, in the Sphira, in the tree of life, called Bina. Now, to understand that, it's the forces, Bina represent the force of nature, or Mother Nature, that's Bina. All the ability to share, it's Bina. So, again, if you have more questions about it, we can learn, but I don't want to, that's not the basic of our teaching now. First, Abraham is the one to establish the idea that you first give, then talk. You first open your heart, then talk. You first smile, then talk. Most of us depend how reality will respond, that's how I'm going to do it. Depend what they're going to do, that's how I'm going to respond. No. Abraham established the basis, the fabric of who we are will be the fabric of this earth, like earth. The soil in this world, anywhere in the world, you plant one seed, it gives you countless amount of fruits. No calculation, endless amount of fruits, endless amount of shade, endless amount of protection. Doesn't ask anything from you. We should really ask this. We should definitely ask that the basic structure, the fabric of who we want to become, need to transform to become fabric of sharing, of giving, like the soil. That's the first thing as Abraham is teaching us. Where do we learn that? We learn that from his hospitality. Hospitality is what we call hachnasat orchim, inviting guests, like what we're doing here. The reason I established part of this group, right? So each one of us, anyone, by the way, I always telling it, I forgot to mention many times, but any one of you, anyone who hearing that, who wants to host a class in their space, of course, if it's in New York, if it's in the city, and different other categories, but definitely ask, please, let me host a class, let me be. Why? This is established in Abraham. He established the idea of achnasat orchim, inviting guests, hospitality. What do we learn from that? Why is the gift in this week? Because he says that oreach is a guest. Okay? Oreach is a singular, one guest. Orchim is plural. Now, oreach is or, the word or, which is light, or, and the last letter is chet, which is numerical value 8, which represent the step, what we call bina consciousness, the 8th level of the tree of life. That's called bina consciousness. So anytime Abraham knew, every time he bringing somebody, he's hosting somebody. Obviously back then it was a tent, it wasn't like, and wasn't any text me if you can come later, right? You see somebody, you grab him, somebody pass by, please come on in, right? That's what we call a guest. But why? Because he never saw the people as people, he saw them as channels of the energy of Binah, which is what? The total establishment in this world of the energy of sharing, real giving. That is what, and so every time you inviting guests, the guest is in charge to bring the energy of Bina to your life, the energy of sharing to your life, the energy of blessings to your life. And that is what he's asking all of us to do. So this is happening this week. This is why. This is the first understanding, as the Baal Shem Tov call it, Gdola achnasat orchim me'akbalat pnei hashchina, the greatness of hosting or inviting people, one person, two people, you cook something, you invite them, you create shelter for them, whatever it is for that moment. It says it's even higher than, sometime, let's say, for example, let's say I'm sitting and studying, right? Sitting is considered to be a very high level. Somebody knock on the door. Oh, now they stop me from studying and doing it. No. The fact that somebody knock on the door and coming in, it's higher than any other teaching that you in the moment study. That's what he says. He says even to that degree to understand it. And he says, Ki oreach hu or chet, the guest is the light of the Binah. Abraham was bringing guests, right? Because this is what he understood, that as he connected to, when he bring a guest, he bring all the gifts that the Creator wants to pour on you. That's the first understanding, the overruling energy. Now, where is Abraham right now? The portion starts, the story starts. Again, we always learn from the story, and what is the message from the story. It's not the esoteric story, but really messages, secrets for us. It started by Vayira elav Hashem. The Creator was shown to Abraham, where they given a location. Be'elonei Mamre. It's a place called Mamre, right? Why do I need to know? Why is it important for us? Do I have a GPS that tells me where to locate, where Abraham was sitting exactly? Where was his tent? And very important for me. No, it's a code. What is the code? When does the Creator shone? Because Abraham is us. I'm not talking about any Abraham in the time of the Bible. I'm talking about the chariot, the conduit that is Abraham within us. Like for example, take Adam Arishon, first human. Adam, first man, right? He was able to control the sun, the moon, all the animals. Everyone was under his supervision until he fell. But he had that ability. So do you think you have that ability that Adam had? You don't have to answer. Sit with that for a second. Yes, because it's the same person. It's the same idea. So we think, for example, you look at your parents and you compare it to yourself. It's like, no, I'm not sure. I'm not like my parents, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the essence, the energy, the establishment of who you are needs to be based on who is your forefathers, who you came from, where you're coming from. And you should know what is ingrained, what is installed in your system. So, first gift we learn from Abraham, to the easiest, the fastest, to get us out of any place is bring guests home. Bring guests home. It gets you out of yourself. It gets you to connect, to become. Again, if you do it on a regular basis, you get it to become connected to the soil, the energy force of this world. The second idea is, why does it tell us where the Creator was revealed to Abraham? So we can go there and also the Creator will reveal to us? No, it's a code. Elonei Mamre is a code. Mamre, there's few ideas here. The word is lehamri, take off. When it take off, right? When a plane take off, right? That's called the same word, mamre, lehamri. Now what's the idea? Where and when does the Creator will be shown to you? When you're down or when you're going up? That's the code. That's the message. People I want God to help me. I want God to this. I want this. I want that. Oh, everybody wants to have a biggest revelation or the biggest awakening. I want to be connected. No. The Creator not connecting you when you're on your way down. Why? Because you are in difference of form from the Creator. It's only when you desire and take the first step to climb up, you meet your Creator. You meet your higher self. You meet something that you haven't seen before. But you have to be able to take the first step up. As you go down, you are disconnected. Yeah, but supposedly there is a God or Creator that if I'm falling, He come and lift me up. No, it doesn't work like that. The idea is that you are in difference of form. And when you establish the first step, the first movement, you take the step forward, what you end up doing, now you communicate with the Creator. Now you communicate with a different level of energy. In this week, there's something that, again, I'm afraid will be a longer conversation. I don't want to get into it. But the goal of this week is to achieve the level of Vayelchu Shnehem Yachdav. It says that in this week's portion, again, let me tell you the sequence of the event, and then I'm going to share with you the sequence. 1, Abraham is 90 years old. Get a message, you need to do circumcision. Very easy, but very painful, right? Everybody knows circumcision. If you don't know, ask your friends, your family, your parents, you know what it is. Okay? It's a very painful process to anybody, let alone 90-year-old man, right? So we know that in the third day is the hardest, most painful day. So the description tells us, Vayar elav Hashem be'elonem, when the Creator was shown to Abraham in this place, והוא יושב פתח האוהל, and he sits in the entrance of the tent, on his tent. כחום היום, and it was like the hottest day of the year, the hottest, extremely hot day. Why in the Torah he's mentioning it? Of course, there's a reason. And he's sitting there, and then there is a revelation of 3 people come to see him. Later on, I'm going to share with you what that story, what the secret is about. There's plenty of them. Then, in that story, after circumcision, he's doing that. There is a story of a city that the Creator wants to destroy, and Abraham suggested to protect that, and he goes there and begging the Creator not to hurt the town, and so forth. It's another story there. Then, the Creator promised Abraham and Sarah to have a child, right? That child is called Isaac. This time is written the connection to Isaac. And then the Creator asked Abraham to do what? One of the tests was what? Sacrifice your son. Take your son to this type of mountain and slaughter him over there. Right? Everybody know that story. Everybody have, I think, wrong understanding about that story. That is the big picture of that story. They had many other different stories with Hagar and Ishmael and many other things. So it's a big one. It's a big one. There's the binding of Isaac. There is the story of the city that one needed to be destroyed. There's of Lot, and there's the wife of Lot that got turned into a salt. Again, throughout the years, we shared many different things. So this is the portion, this is the idea. We learned that the Creator only revealed to who? To whoever is on the process of climbing up. We learn that when we are looking for our next level, that is where the Creator will meet us, not backward. Now, Abraham, after circumcision, you would assume, a man like that needs to go into the tent, lay back, lie down, sleep it off, right? No. The way it's described is a bit too much. One, he said he's sitting in that day in the opening of the tent. That day was super hot, right? And what did Abraham do? Vayar vehine shlosha anashim. And then he's sitting there. And all what he's doing, actually what he did, he opened his tent from all 4 directions. So he's not going to miss anybody who passed by the tent that he can invite and host and share with them some bread, some cookies, some cakes, you know. So first, that's his consciousness. Second is, it's the most painful moment of his life. Physically painful moment of his life. And what does he do? Sitting in the chair, in the entrance of the tent, looking to share. Anyone in his right mind will have that. Forget about in pain. In a regular day. When it's hot, do you feel like going outside? No, it's too hot. Right? Let's assume you live in Florida or you're in New York in the middle of the steamy day, sweaty, everybody's sweating. Do you want to bring somebody sweaty to your house? No, all the heat and all the outside and the dirt I don't want to bring it in. Bring it in a very nice or selecting. Abraham is teaching us something else. He's sitting in the entrance and do what? Waiting to jump on an opportunity. Waiting to jump on an opportunity. Also with the pain and also with the heat. And what he says, and how do we know? Vayisa. Isa, it's from the word masa, which is it's a very heavy load, very heavy time, very heavy moment, very difficult moment. In that moment, he was still looking to share. And therefore, it says, Vehine, all of a sudden, 3 people, shlosha anashim nitzavim. And what does he say? He says anashim, which is people, but Avraham knew that they are angels. And he saw those angels. And what is the message for us? First of all, when we're in pain, when we're going through something, I recommend, and I always recommend it to anybody, in that time, please do things, share with others. This is the time to be busy with others, not with you. My pain, what I'm going through, the losing of the deal, or the losing of that, or not getting what I want, or fight with somebody. Now it's time to share. In that midst of the chaos, step out of it with sharing, with be there for others. That is when you've been tested. Not when I'm ready and I have $1 billion in my bank and I have all the time in the world and I can share. No, that's not a test. That's not where you establish a real connection. Is when the time is so painful, uncomfortable. It's the moment I don't get anything. Now I want to be there for others. That's the first understanding that Avraham is telling you. It's not about sharing when I'm comfortable. It's not giving when I have. It's when you don't have enough. It's when you and you spare and you increase the sharing and the giving and the chesed, what we call chesed, which is being kind when you don't want to be kind to people. Vayisa einav, and then he carries his eyes with pain, but then he saw those angels, right? They appear. Anashim nitzavim. Nitzavim, they were like upright. And we know the angels are upright connection. That's just the code. And what do you hear? Vayar, and he sees them, and what does he do? Vayaratz likratam, and he ran towards them. He's not just like, hey guys, you want to come in? I'm in pain, I can't move, but please go in, there is some bread, right? No. He ran towards them, please come on in. He immediately put buckets to wash their feet, and immediately, he says, Vayemaher, and he was called Sarah, make the house moving. Hey, run to get some bread, to make them bread. He asked the helper, run, everything. Can you read it? It says Vayaratz, and he ran. Everything was running, not walking, not working on it. Vayemaher Avraham ha'oela, and he rushed to his wife's tent. And tell her, really, and Ela Bakar Ratz Avraham, and he ran to the kettle to get something to cook. Vayemaher la'asot, and he rushed to do everything. Why? Why was he rushing? Why? Because now it's establishing something very unique that are happening this week. It's called Midat Hazrizut. Midat Hazrizut. Those of you who don't understand the word, it's the energy of alacrity. It's the energy of quickness. Right? So, sometime when you ask a friend to help you, do you feel that they want to help you or not? Yes, you can feel it. Like how? If they're, yes, let's do it. What do you need? How can I help you? They don't wait. Let me check with my this. Let me check if I have the time. Let me check. I get back to you. That's, they want, but that's not so quick. And not that you are calling them and they need to, yes, sir, do it right away, but you feel the desire there. You feel that they are, yes, how can I help? What else do you need? Where can I be there? Where? No problem. Don't worry about it. Go do your thing. I'll take care of it. Wow. You got stuck. I need to go back and pick up from the airport. I need this, I need that. My employee got stuck. No worry. I'll take care of it. Go. Wow. You feel right away when somebody jumped to help you, as opposed to somebody dragged their feet. Do you feel it? We feel the difference. So are you the person who jump? Or are you the person who run to help? Or are you the person who waiting to see, let me choose the opportunity where I can get the most amount of ego, where I can get the most amount of recognition, where I can get the most amount of control over them. I'm going to help them. Because Avraham had that consciousness, Because he ran towards them. Because they felt that in his pain, and they know. They revealed 3 gifts to him. And this is the gift that you can receive. Each one of us can receive this week. This week. So the first gift that he received is what? They told him that he's going to have a child. Meaning that message is the message of the child. This is the angel who brought him the child. So imagine just by being hospitable or sharing, but not in the sharing like of, yeah, Benjamin asked me, I need to share. Okay. Oh, they asked me to volunteer. Okay, let me think if it's, based on what I'm thinking. Yes, jump. No much, again, when it comes down to that, it really makes the difference. With alacrity, with excitement, with passion, or I'm going to calculate. That type of consciousness bring you the children that you're looking for. This is the children. Second gift, this is this week. This is where he received Isaac, a generational baby, right? The baby who created generations of generations. The second gift is they warned him from war that coming. That's why, as I said before, there was to destroy a certain place, and also a war that coming. And there were different kings who chased after Abraham. Long story short, they didn't just give him the warning, they gave him also the clay milchama, they gave him the force, the power to defeat those wars without even any need to go to war. A lot of us need killing in the war and bombing, this and that. No, the war can be defeated before it even starts. If you defeat the enemy, you defeat the head of the enemy, the consciousness of them. You take their light, there's nothing there. It's easy to win. So that's the second gift he get. What do we get this week? By really living life this way, you get the gift, the angel that comes to protect you from any enemy who wants to defeat your business, wants to interfere with your relationship, wants to interfere with your children, and with anything that you're connected to. That is the gift. That is what Abraham is teaching us. And what is the third angel? Raphael. The angel of Raphael, the angel of healing, came to heal him from the pain of the circumcision. But really, he gave him the power of healing, so he can heal others, so he can share with others. So that's the second gift of this week. How do we get that gift? First of all, we have to, again, whatever you know about how you give and share with others in the world, that's great. Find a way to give and share. Be kind, that is outside of yourself, that you're running towards that. For example, when he says to him, Yoshev Petach HaOel, he sit in the entrance of the, it's like almost when you sit, they call it in English, they call it you sitting on the edge of the chair, right? It's like ready to go. It's like, imagine, go back to that airplane. Before airplane take off, what does he do? It's like increasing you hear the edge, like raising, raising the whatever the jets, whatever, and then they are holding in the brake, right? Almost like holding, and then release, and then they take off. Same thing as. Am I sitting on the edge of the seat, looking for who is coming, looking for how to get up and do something for other? Somebody comes in, hey, they have a chair. Somebody knock on the door, let's go. Somebody needs something. Somebody look at the cookie. You have more cookie, take cookie, right? Right away. Be alert. What is alacrity, right? Be alert. Like a zest almost possessed with a beautiful energy of sharing. That is the second idea. And then when you are like that, and again I'm saying to practice it, when you become like that, and when your tent is what is your tent? Your life is managed this way, you get to have those three angels, the three different protection. One, the children that you need to have. Children also represent students that you need to have. Children represent also new clients or new business ventures. It's also children. Second is protection from any enemy that wants to hurt and harm your business, your affairs, and anything that you connected to. And the third, to heal you before you even get damaged. This is the second gift of this week. The third and the last one is, and again, I like that story, but there's so many, but where did I put it? Listen, I share that because it's something that the world going through. But there's a sad story, but if you know the deeper part of it, you understand the greatness of what it is. There's so many I'm bearing right now, even the Akedah, even the story of binding of Isaac. Anyway, Hagar, right, and the wife of the maid of Abraham, right, she had a child called Ishmael, and Sarah also had a child called Isaac. Now we know historically that's where the division of what we call our cousins, right? The cousins fights. Muslims or Arab world, you can call it, to the Jewish world. That's really the establishment of the separation of the two different lineage. If you're looking at the story, it's actually a very sad story because the Ishmael was, they call it Pere Adam, was wild, was very wild. But the message was that he will have 12, he will be a lineage for 12 different Nesi'im, 12 different ministers. Or you can call it sheikh, or you can call it prince. Like in those, in the Middle East and all of that, there's all prince of this, prince of that, all of that. He had 12 different ones. Obviously, if you look at the writing, you see that there's like a lot of the Arab or the Muslim world somehow it's not that they got confused. Everybody blurred the line that, oh no, we are the children of, we all children of Ham. Oh no, we are the children of the 12 tribes, and you are not. It's almost like a confusion of somebody who doesn't really study this wisdom. Because if you read it literally, yes, you can get confused. But what do we learn from that? You can see why it can be very hateful moment of why Abraham says to Ishmael and his mother, hey, you guys need to leave. Like throw them out of his house. Why? Because Sarah didn't like them. Why? Because he was not tamed, he was too rough. And Sarah threw him out of his house. That's what the world is seeing. If you read it literally, this is what you're going to read. He's a bad influence, he had to go out. Obviously, when you study this wisdom, when you open the Zohar, you see the love, you see the care of the reason, the only way he meant to become a nation for 12 different big nations, what they are today. If Sarah will not throw them out, the light of Isaac will overpower Ishmael, and Ishmael will never become what they are today. All the East, and all the Muslim or the Arab world is huge, gigantic, controlling all oil and whatever it is, right? If he would stay next to Isaac, she said, his light is not the same light. It will overpower him. He will not be able to become what he meant to become, the promise of what the Creator promised his mother and his father. And therefore, he had to send them away. And if you read it literally, in the world looking at it as like, oh, always hating, always doesn't want us, always, it's from the seed level there is a misunderstanding. Almost like something that's so simple, for care about this child, that his light will be revealed, she sent him away. Not from the hatred, not from I don't need that, not from anything else. And that is a beautiful thing. Sometimes when you do the right thing and it looks bad, but you still know and you connect it even years later. People still think you did the wrong thing. But you know that the reason I did it because their light will never be shine if they will stay here. So really to do the hard thing, but for the right reason, to help somebody else, so to help someone else's light to shine, you gotta do that. Sometimes you're in a wrong relationship, but because you don't have anybody else, you still keep them on your keychain. You know what I'm talking about? For those of you who know what I'm talking about. And you think, yeah, they don't have anybody else right now, and I don't have anybody else, so we are together. No! Somebody else is waiting for them right outside the door. As soon as you throw them out, their soulmate is out of the door. But you are so selfish, and you don't want to stay alone, and you have your lonely moment, and you don't want to be alone, so you keep them until I'm finding something else, or until I have plan B. This is what it is. And not just that, your light also stops. So again, this is a lot. Sometimes, you're keeping the wrong client, right? Let's say you have a business, but, meanwhile, I don't have anybody else until I bring, or you're in partnership with somebody that it's not so good for the business, but you keep them around because, I don't have anybody else right now. No. Please, sometimes to fire an employee is the best thing you've done for them. How many bosses I spoke to, how many people, business owners I spoke to, and they tell me, I have to fire somebody, I can't. Well, it's like a lot, right? You should love that. You should, again, not to do it in a harsh and negative way, but should love the opportunity that it comes to an end because something new is open for them, because now their light can shine. So we need to awaken that as well, to receive that strength and that gift, that when we're doing the right thing, when we're doing a painful thing but for the right reason, difficult thing for the right reason, and the reason is that you let someone else shine, you let their light to be shine. But I'm going to be alone because it's going to be difficult for me. It's okay. But the entire world will say Sarah is bad and Abraham is nobody because he listened to his... No. We know it's the right thing for that child. Even if the world for generation will speak bad about us. I don't care. So again, I would love if we can really ask those gifts this week. Please share those gifts with others. And last thing, we're opening in this week, Wednesday, if you have any friends, family, people in New York that want to open the first level of Kabbalah, Kabbalah 1, it's in the center. Let us know, text us or something like that. We can send you the link to join us. So it's Wednesday, 7 p.m., this coming Wednesday. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant week.